Whistleblower Radio, and we are live with a very interesting situation that is a developing situation as I speak. David Wilcock has received several death threats this evening, and we were going on the air anyway, so the serendipity of the moment allowed us to go public with the situation, and David is with us. David Wilcock is with us. We also have a caller from a secret location around the globe who has graciously come on the air here to represent a certain group. And Anonymous, are you still with us?
Hi.
Hi, Anonymous. And I appreciate you. Your Irish accent is at sometimes a bit hard to understand. So at times I will be repeating what you say. Just hope you aren't offended by that. I want people to be sure to understand you.
This is fine.
Okay. So Anonymous, with regard to this situation, and I do want to say that Maxine Taylor, who was my original guest and is an astrologer and an astute observer of human behavior and an intuitive, I would wager to say, is also standing by and offering her support, and she is on the line with us. So, Anonymous, can you address possibly any of the situation with regard to what's going on around the world? Is there some cautionary notes or anything that you want to give people? It's very rare that you come on the air under these circumstances or that anyone from your group comes on the air. Is there any kind of message that you would like to give people about these trying times in which we are in?
Well, there's nothing I can say specifically. All I can say is there are many challenges ahead. It won't be easy. But if you keep yourself positive and keep by your family, mind your family. Your family is everything. That is the way forward. We will survive. In 20 years' time, we'll be in a different world, different place, different feelings and different values. It will be so different, it will be hard to comprehend. Many of these villains, they'll be gone, vanquished once and for all. But it takes many generations to get to this point, let alone get rid of the villains forever. It takes the world this time.
Okay, and there are many white hats among you, including yourself, who are out there fighting the good fight and going behind the scenes, going into the darkness, as I call it, in order to deal with the situation here. But they are fighting on our behalf. Isn't that true?
Yes. It is very true.
Thank you, and we do appreciate it. David, can we go back a few steps here, if you don't mind,
Sure.
and describe the situation again for the people that are tuning in with regard to Benjamin Fulford and how you feel that the arrest, I assume it was an arrest or the CIA occupation, takeover of his house or whatever, house arrest they're calling it, how that basically seemed to interweave with what's going on with you.
Well, the title of my article that caused all this mess is "The $1 Trillion Lawsuit That Could End Financial Tyranny." I'm only reporting on something that other people are doing. The information that I reported is already public domain. The information I reported on is a lawsuit that is for $1 trillion. It is being filed on behalf of a secretive Asian group called the Dragon Family, who are the holders of vast sums of gold. I guess Anonymous would say nowhere near as vast as the gold that's actually there, but in conventional terms, we're looking at much more gold than is officially documented in the treasuries of the world or in any public forum. The Dragon family basically owns the historical rights to this gold. It was confiscated in the 20s and 30s as part of the foundation of the current financial system under Bretton Woods in 1944. The confiscation of that gold it is all documented. It's all part of the system. It's part of a secret financial system that underwrites the currencies of the world so that most people think that they're printing bubble money, but they're actually not. It does have collateral. It's just that these Asians now want to regain that collateral because they don't like the way it's being used. And that's the actual situation that this lawsuit is trying to do. It's basically trying to change the geopolitical order, change the financial system, change the way it's run, so that there will be much more prosperity freed up for the average person, because there's a small group of people who have access to the printing press. They're printing money out of control. They have driven the whole world into a global financial meltdown. None of this needs to happen. It's all phony. It's all based on numbers and computers that have no real value. And what's trying to be done now is to reboot the global financial system, and in the aftermath of this reboot, we're going to discover that these vast national deficits were all illusions. It's all illegally gotten, and it doesn't even exist. So it's kind of like the Orwellian idea, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. When the media is telling you it's global economic collapse, it's actually the best thing that's ever happened to us. This lawsuit is the tip of the spear that's doing this, and that's why apparently some people who will be affected by this, because they're going to lose their printing press, they're very upset. They issued threats to me, and now what's happening is that people who we know and trust are actually stepping out of anonymity. They're on the air, and they're saying that if these people try to harm me, that they will be harmed, and it's going to cause a lot of trouble. So I don't want to see anybody get harmed. I was actually going to be getting in my car and fleeing my house after I finished writing this article, but now I'm going to hold true. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to hold the fort. And I do not believe I will be harmed, but I have to take these threats very seriously, and that's why I'm out there making this radio show, alerting people to what's going on for my own protection and for the good of humanity.
Absolutely, and for the safety of the people around you as well.
Yes.
Anonymous, you've heard what David has to say in regard to this situation. Can you address some of the statements he just made with regard to this lawsuit and how it may affect people? Is this indeed legitimate in your estimation?
If they want to follow you, David, you can drive wherever you want. They'll find you. They can sit down from a satellite and watch you from anywhere. That's not the solution, boy.
Right.
The things you're talking about, a lot of things will be discussed about the Asian situation next year. But there are the many dragons that are interested in the phoenixes rising. The daughters of the phoenixes coming back again, and the folks listening will know what I'm talking about. They'll know that for 100 years or more, this has all been planned, and that the naughty boys will have to take their lickings. The accomplished number of 505 will really make the love of the world far more sensitive. And I'll know when I say that how serious I truly am. It'll go back to the agreements in 1943 of the Second World War, and many others that were signed, as you mentioned, the public version of the Bretton Woods Agreement. But the dynasties and the Changlings and the others, who I name drop a little here, they'll all know that these silly little fellows shouldn't be bothering anyone. And you can all take it from me, the folks that are hearing this know what I'm saying. I think it's enough to be worrying about now, eh? It's all done. It's all finalized. It's over.
Okay, so this situation with David at this time has been addressed. Is that what you're saying, caller?
I feel it's done. It's finished with, eh? He's a man that should be able to go on his quiet way and enjoy his business.
Okay.
And the gold is as well, ma'am, don't worry about it. It'll all sort itself out. It's much more valuable to be used in industry than to be sitting around in a vault somewhere.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, there are many uses for the gold, and I think that's a key statement right there, which maybe that reveals the level at which these people who've made the threats really are at, because they don't understand the true use of the metal. Is that right, caller? Would you say?
There's a lot we don't tell them. I mean, you tell your dog what's going on the front street if the morning street news or whatever. I mean, why bother him with it? Let him go and pick up the bones and fetch the paper for you.
Oh, God. Okay. Well,
now, let's be serious. Like, we don't want any problems with the good folk out there. We work quietly behind the scenes. The other fools are just little fools trying to grab a few million here and there. They're not worth worrying about. Understand, the only concern is for the protection of the human society as a whole. There's no distinction between countries or race or color. It's the human race in the genome as a whole. Forget all your nationalities and all your culture, all your prejudice. It's all created to keep you busy, to keep you occupied.
Actually, yes, very wise words coming from a secret location in an indistinct place, very, very far away. This is Carrie Cassidy, Project Camelot Whistleblower Radio. We are live with David Wilcock, Maxine Taylor, and we were just speaking with an anonymous caller who had called in from parts unknown out in the greater world to relay some messages that are very important that they be relayed to certain people that are making threats upon David's life. And we do want to thank them for coming forward. We have heard that those messages did go out. David, are you on the line?
Yeah.
Okay. What I suggest you do is turn off your video, because it looks like you've got your video hooked up there. It will help the stream here and make sure it stays stable, and so keeps you with us for the last part of the show here. We have less than 15 minutes to go. I have been told to tell you that the situation is stable, that you have nothing to worry about, and that the messages have gone out to the right places, and that things are being monitored. You are going to be, some people are going to be in touch with you. So after the show, you need to call a mutual friend of ours if you get a chance, and just say hello and let them know that you're feeling fine. Maxine Taylor, you're still with us, I assume?
Yes, I am.
All right. Thank you very much for that. So, David, while we've got these last 15 minutes, is there anything else that you would like to say? We do have a chat room. I just want to let you know. And I could say that to people, if the streams have been totally maxed out. People coming online now who want to listen to the show have not been able to hear the show. We apologize for that. We are going to release this show out over the air in 1 hour's time. It will go out. American Freedom Radio is working very hard behind the scenes to make this available to everyone so that it can be distributed across the board. But we are maxed out. The streams have maxed themselves out during the show, and we do apologize. So, David, do you want to give a sort of a summation of what has gone down here, and maybe if there's anything that you need to tell people about what you're going to write in part 2 that needs to be reiterated here, please do so at this time.